So today I will be talking about significant figures. Significant figures are important in math and science calculations. They're used basically to be more precise and accurate in the numbers that they give. There are three basic rules for significant figures. The first one involves non-zero numbers. Non-zero numbers are numbers 1 through 9. And all numbers 1 through 9 are considered significant figures. The second rule involves zeros, and there are three different types of zeros. There are leading zeros, which are these zeros right here in front of this non-zero number, and leading zeros do not count as significant figures. There are also captive zeros, and captive zeros are the zeros that are caught in between two non-zero numbers. So this zero right here and this zero right here are caught in between, so they're captive zeros. So that means that there are 6 significant figures in this number right here. Trailing zeros are zeros at the end of a number. So like 100 only has 1 significant figure because the 2 zeros afterwards are not followed by a decimal. Trailing zeros, to be counted as a significant figure, have to be followed by a decimal. So 1.00 has the decimal, so it is considered to have 3 significant figures. The other rule for significant figures is exact numbers, and these are numbers that aren't obtained by measurement, and they're determined by counting. So there are 3 apples in the tree, there's 3 significant figures. And these are some examples, and so this number right here has 3 significant figures because this zero is a captive zero, and this one's a trailing one, and it doesn't count because there's not a zero followed by it. This number has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures because there's a decimal, so these 2 zeros are counted as significant figures. This number has 4 significant figures because these are leading zeros, so they do not count. And this zero counts because it's after a decimal, and this one counts because it is a captive zero. In this number, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 significant figures because these 2 are leading, and there's no non-zero number before them. This one is a captive zero, so it counts, and then these 2 are trailing, but there's a decimal place, so it counts. And in this number, there's also 5 significant figures because this one's after a zero, it's also captive, and then these are trailing zeros after the decimal, so there's 5 significant figures. This number only has 1 significant figure because there's no decimal, so none of these 5 zeros count. This number has 7 sig figs because there's a decimal right here, so these 5 zeros count, and then this zero also counts. This number only has 1 significant figure because these are leading zeros, and there's not a non-zero number before them, so they do not count. And then this number only has 3 significant figures because the 4 in front, they do not count.